Well, my friends, I thought, you know what? We have just pushed into November, and it's time to start thinking about that ever or never ending Christmas list. You know, the list that you want to give to your family and your friends, and also the list of things that you might want to give to yourself. You deserve something too. And you know, the thing that I normally buy myself, of course, a lot of you buy yarn, but that's when I look for, you know, stitch books or things like that, maybe that I've been putting off. Or, in this case, I looked through some of my stash and found stitch books I have not reviewed that I would like to share with you and make projects out of starting the first of the year. So, for Jay's Christmas list, the first thing I have on here are books. And you know, for me, stitch books are the key to my creativity. I just love just making, you know, my designs and using stitch books because that's how I taught myself. You know, everybody just didn't have a knit shop or had the time or, you know, family, work, whatever. So I just, like a lot of you, just kept over and over and working and practicing and learning, and finally I taught myself. So I wanted to share with you some books. Like I said, I found these in my own book stash, and I thought, oh Jay, you've gotten behind, so let me share with you some of the books that you might like to put on your Christmas wish list too. Alright, let me move this. I'll leave my keys here. Now, the first book I want to show you is, you're going to go, well, Jay, I can't even read that book. I think this is in Chinese. I don't know. But this is a book that is just, you'll see it on Amazon a lot, and I kept seeing it over and over. This is a crochet book, so we're going to start out with our something for our crochet friends. Now, if you are a seasoned or a, you know, a person that really loves charts, and you like to create your own little ideas here and now, you know, now and every once in a while, then this is a great book for you. Like I said, I believe it's Chinese, and like I said, it's very easy to get off of Amazon. I've not seen it. It could be in some stores, but every time I would go to Amazon looking for other things, it would always pop up because, you know, they keep they keep your name and what you like. But it's a very nice book. And so I wanted to go inside. I know I don't know if that says crochet or not, but there's 300 of it. So we'll pretend like we can read it. And as you can see, I've started doing some little writing in my own books and writing down some of the symbols, what they mean, as I came to them. But they're pretty universal if you like charts. The charts are very universal. I mean, just looking at it right off the bat, I wasn't, you know, I was shocked that I could just like, oh my gosh, I can understand that. I can kind of read that. I can understand that. And nice swatches. They're all numbered, not names. It wouldn't help us anyway because, like I said, I can't read the words. But now, a lot of them, some of the stitches seem to be recognizable. I don't know if because, you know, everything is in public domain now. A lot of things, and so I don't know if I've seen them on the YouTube, on the other channels or something, or if I actually have seen them in other books that I have, because, you know, I have quite a library of stitch books. But every once in a while, though, you do find something like, oh, now that's very interesting, or I've not seen that, or if I have, I don't remember it. So I just wanted to run through a few of these, let you take a glimpse of the charts out of the crochet book with over 300 swatches or stitches. It didn't look like when you look at it, but maybe it's 300. I didn't count them. But as I said, the charts look very universal. I recognize things. I can recognize symbols. So a good seasoned knitter, if you have a friend and you want to give her something really special, she may not have this book, or he may not have this particular book, since it is, like I said, it's, not your run-of-the-mill American off-the-press book. So you might consider, well, they can understand it a lot. It will be nice for them to have it in their library. It looks very impressive. In fact, I remember one day I was at my car dealership getting my oil change, and I had stuck this book in my bag and of course some yarn. And I was just going to practice a stitch or two, and someone came by and they could see the writing on the front, and they go, I think they asked me if I spoke Chinese. I said, no. So it looks real impressive. I said, no, but there's charts. I'm working by the charts. And they kind of nodded their head like, oh, okay. So I'm just kind of turning some pages so that you can see how nice and clear the charts are. It's large print. The swatches are nice. Like I say, some of them might seem like I've seen them in other books, but you just never know. Let's go to the back and see if there's, now there's some pretty lace, and you can kind of see how they're categorized with the pictures. Like these are some really pretty lace. A lot of the shell, I can just tell right off the bat, these are a lot of the shell stitches. See? So when I'm reading it, it's just like reading my regular crochet. It says here, in the 4th chain from the hook, there's a double crochet. Then I would skip 1, 2, 3. I'd skip 3. Then I'd do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the next chain. All of that's in the next chain. Then I would skip 1, 2, 3. Then there's a V-stitch. I'm just reading the chart. Now I know you probably can't see this, but I'm just showing you, I'm just reading the chart, how easy it is for me to recognize. 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Skip 1, 2, 3, and in the next chain you give the repeat again. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Isn't that nice? Let's see if I can go towards the back. I thought there was some, like I said, now you're going to run across some stitches that are maybe new to you, and that you'd like to give a try. You just never know. Some back here are really nice. I hope this is not too much of a glare. I will check my camera. So far, only a few. So if there are some symbols that you don't recognize, there is a section here in the back that actually kind of shows you in still picture form maybe how that stitch is done. Let me go to the front to see if there is a, nope, there's not something that really shows you each symbol represents on the charts, but there are some areas in the back, some resources on maybe how to do that particular stitch, and here are some of their symbols right here in the back. But like I say, most of them I recognize, and then if I don't, look, you can always do your own thing. So book number 1 on Jay's list of books that you might enjoy for yourself or to give on my Christmas list is this 300 stitch book, and it is all charted and with universal symbols. What do you think of that? Right down here they did write in, I just now noticed, it says crochet pattern Patterns Book 300. So maybe that's what it says on the front. Don't know, but I know you can get it on Amazon because I got it. All right, that's book number 1 for the crocheters. All right, let me show you what else I have on my list. All right, the next 2 I want to show you. These are books that I've had in my stash that I bought maybe a couple of years ago, maybe even 3, I can't remember. But this is what happens when you just go, when you have all those great 50 and 60% coupons and you go over there to the store, you're going to leave with something. And I left with these books. I believe this was the first one, so I'm going to move this one over and come back in just a minute. So I believe I saw this book, like I said, has, I thought it had the Joanne sticker somewhere. But at Joann's, like I said, I probably had a 50 or 60% coupon. And when I looked at the book, when I first saw it, I thought it was a book of just dishcloths. You know, I thought, oh, I might get back into dishcloths. You know, that's kind of how I start teaching myself to knit or to practice stitches. Just making dishcloths. You know, I was going to make a dishcloth for everybody in the world. And after about 25, I gave that idea up. I was like, I ain't making dishcloths or face cloths or spar cloths or whatever you want to call them. Look, I did about 25 and I was over that. Let everybody buy their own. Okay, but everybody will if you are a knitter, and a lot of you will recognize the name. I bought the books, like I said, brought them home, stuck them over in my stash, didn't think no more about it until recently. But this book is by Wendy Bernard, and a lot of you know her because she's well known, and she does classes. I think you can get online classes and take them from her. I've never taken any online classes. Like I said, I bought the books and brought them home and put them in the stash and forgot all about them. Never knew I had this treasure. Her books are beautiful treasures. So I'm going to start with this one. This is the knitting all around stitch dictionary. It says 150 new stitch patterns to knit top down, bottom up, back and forth, and in the round. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've had this book for a couple of years, and it is amazing. The time and the work that she has taken, or that she took, to put all of this together to really help beginner knitters or even seasoned knitters like me, saving us the time of trying to figure out how to knit things in different directions or in different designs. So look at this one. Like I said, when I saw it at Joann's, I thought it was just about dishcloths. You see all the little dishcloths hanging on the line? So I remember this was the first one that I bought. And like I say, she does online classes. I assume she probably still does. I don't know. Like I said. But it's just book is just full of amazing and great information. Has nice, your swatches. Starts with very beginner swatches. Has a lot of great information. It says when the written pattern and charts don't match. She's giving you some good information there. When is reversible truly reversible? Well, I hadn't thought of it. All right, let's go. Working with mosaic stitch patterns. Look at that. It says about the swatches in this book. All the swatches in this book started out with enough stitches to create at least a 4-inch square. In some cases, due to the nature of the stitch pattern and the pattern multiples, the swatch is rectangle. When I knitted them, I started with 2 rows of garter stitch and 2 edge stitches on each side in garter stitch. I ended all of the swatches with 2 more rows of garter stitch and then bound off. Because they are made with Alternate light and dark colors. The mosaic swatches have a stripe effect along the garter edge. So she not only gives a nice swatch, she gives great information just so that you can kind of, like I said, this is a stitch book, so I'm going to be creating, when I use it, I'm going to be creating something, whether it's a dishcloth or a scarf or a afghan or a blanket or throw, whatever it is. So that information will help me to get started. And then she goes in and starts in chapters, knits and purls. So here are some just very basic stitches that you would find most places. Stockinette, stitch triangles. Now, like I said, this is a gold mine. I had it all this time. Didn't even know I had it, people. It was over in my stash. So, for instance, she tells you how you see this stitch here, the swatch. You can knit it bottom up flat, okay, which is something that most knitters would knit. Bottom up in the round. There's a difference. If you're going to knit in the round, the pattern setup is different. So she's already worked it out. Top down flat. There may be a situation or design where I might want to use stockinette stitch triangles and knit it top down but flat, or top down in the round. Like if we were knitting a raglan sweater and maybe I wanted to use this design. She's already worked it out and shared with you how to knit it top down in the round. Isn't that nice? And they are great, some great charts, very plain, very clear, easy to read. Let's just go on. I'm just kind of flipping through here. Let's find something that we recognize. Oh, here's Ripple. Now we can recognize that. Here's Ripple, two-sided. She has it in the flat version. In the flat version, see, it's a multiple of 8 stitches plus 6. It's a 10-row repeat. She gives you the 10 rows. She gives you a chart. There's a swatch. But now listen, in the round, remember, when you're knitting in the round, you really don't need any connecting stitches or edges. So in the round, it's just a multiple of 8 stitches, and it's a 5-round repeat. Here it's a 10-round repeat flat, but in the round, if you didn't know it, she's already worked it out for you and has the written pattern, and then here's a nice chart. Can you see that? How nice and simple and clean the charts. Not fussy charts so far. Now we may get over into some that are fussy. Let's go to another section. I just want you to see. So if you are a beginner knitter and you might think, well, oh Jay, okay, this would be nice for you, like I said, to go onto Amazon if you're going to order it for yourself or for someone that you know. Here is Bobble Rib. Okay, the Bobble Rib flat, it says a multiple of 8 plus 3. It's a 4-row repeat. But in the round, it's only a multiple of 8 stitches because you don't have to, it's in the round. There's no connecting or edge stitches. Does that make sense? She's already worked it out and giving you all the information. Now here's some fussy patterns. Here's something that's really, look at that. I'm going to hold this up. This is called the Fuji Rib. She's done it in the flat and in the round. And she does have, if there's a unique symbol, she puts it right on the page. I like that, don't you? If there's a symbol, instead of having to like, okay, I got to go back here. Okay, now let's go back in the back and see if there is a symbol. There is a key. So there, for some symbols, there is a key. But it's nice to have, a symbol that maybe I just don't understand right off the bat. She puts it right near the chart on the same page. So let's just flip through. Let's see if these are separated into categories. All right. These are your knit and purl stitches up front. So let's go to, all right, the next section is for the cable. And in between some of the stitches, she will give a project, maybe to use one of the stitches that she's sharing with you. So this is called Indian pillow mittens, or mitts. And they're just fingerless mitts. And like I said, I don't really do a lot of patterns. I like to, I'm more about the stitches. But it's full of all the information for you. Like I said, if you're new and you need to have a pattern, here is a pattern. She gives you the information of the yarn, the needles, the notion, the gauge, the stitch pattern, the 1x1 ribbing, the Indian pillar stitch. Okay? How to shape the thumb gusset. So just like your regular patterns. But we're going to flip on over and just check out just some, let's see, find some interesting cables. Something really, oh, now here's something really pretty. Nice. It says narrow, cross, and twist. Here's the swatch. Nice picture. Here's a beautiful, here are the charts. Now watch. Bottom up flat. Okay, I'm just going to maybe knit a scarf. So usually I'd start at the bottom up. All right, bottom up in the round. Well, maybe instead of a scarf, I'll do a cow, and I want to do it bottom up and work in the round up. She has that written out. Has the chart. Top down. That's when we might want to add it into one of our top down sweaters. My design. Maybe I might want to put it on the edge or something. So there's a top down flat and then a top down in the round. Top down flat, because say if I had the sweater was open down the front, it's top down but it's flat. It's not in the round. But now a cowl in the round would use maybe top down flat in the round. And she's already giving you all that information. Man, I need to go through my stuff more often. Maybe you do too. Who knows what treasures we have in there and we didn't even know. Now here's the section, of course, I love the lace. So here's the lace section back here. So we'll just stop and take a minute and look. Okay, now everyone recognizes the feather and fan. But not only can you work it flat, but it can be worked in the round also. When it's worked flat, it's a multiple of 17 stitches. Well, for her version, a multiple of 17 stitches, and it's a 4-row repeat. Well, it so happens, I wouldn't have known this, in the round, it's a multiple of 17 stitches also. There was no connecting stitches or edge stitches, so it worked out the same, and there's the same number of rows, but in the round, you have to switch up, since we don't really do the way the stitches, it faces you. Like for instance, on row 1 is the right side flat. Row 1 in the round and 2 we knit. Row 2 on the flat, you purl that row. So there is some switching back and forth, but she's already worked it up. It's printed, it's here, it's on the chart, and it's in written form also. So I really like that. Let's get some harder ones. Let's find something really hard. Oh, here's something pretty. Wavy lace. Here's a nice swatch. Here are the charts. She's worked it out. Bottom up flat. Bottom up in the round. Top down flat. See what a great resource this is? Top down in the round. So when I am looking to insert or make an edge, or depending on which way I want to knit, this will save me a lot of time. I remember back when I first came on, some of you have, I did a sweater. I can't remember the name of the sweater, But I was sharing with you how sometimes it's hard when stitches are directional to know how to kind of use them top down or bottom up, or what, if the stitch is going in one direction. You know, because I do a lot of coming up the back and then dividing for the neck, you know, binding off neck stitches and then coming down each front. Well, if those stitches are directional, sometimes they just don't flow with my style of knitting. But I can easily see how I can use this information that she has already prepared in this book. So I just wanted to show you that. I wanted to share with you this first book. Now look, let's just pop at some of her. Let's look at some of her, for those who might. Designing from scratch. Oh my gosh, look, that's us. Designing from scratch. And she gives some projects. There's socks. Now, you know, I'm not really into socks, but a lot of you love socks. Basic top-down sock pattern. There's socks, and there's a top-down in the round hat or cap, she calls it. It's nice. There's some cable. There are, I think there may be a couple of shawls. There's some nice shawls. Basic bottom up double triangle shawl formula. She uses the idea of a formula. Maybe not as simple as mine, you know, like, you know, my little formula is like one line. She goes more into detail, people. She, you know, she's a professional, so she has a lot of the all the stitches and the measurements and things and the diagram, the schematic. So this is one for a beginner. This is great. Now, months later, I remember going back to Joann's with another nice coupon. I still didn't know who Wendy Bernard was. I just knew that I had the first book, and when I saw this book, I thought, well, let me go ahead and get it. I was trying to use up a coupon. This is up, down, all around, again, stitch dictionary. And there's supposed to be more than 150 stitch patterns to knit top down, bottom up, back and forth, and in the round. She just took the theme and just kept going. She just presented more information, more stitches. Let's see if we can just run through some of this. Now, so this will be, you know, maybe getting into more advanced stitches. Because right off the bat, I can see, look how much more information just in pattern. This is overlapping leaves. Now, you know this is a pattern that you can get in other books. But if you just like to add nice books to your library, beautiful, look, nice binding, nice pages to flip. She takes her time. She goes through bottom up flat, bottom up in the round, top down flat, top down in the round. And all the, each row is not only written out, but you have a chart. And they're really nice, and I think clear enough that a seasoned knitter would have no problem. Like I said, and if you wanted to look her up, you know, I'll put a link to, I'll find a link and put it in my comments, and maybe you too might like to take a class from Wendy Bernard and learn more about her method and all the things. Here's rosette eyelets. Now, isn't that pretty? It's really pretty. Just reading each row. This is flat, this is in the round. There's a chart for that, there's a chart. If there's something in the chart that you're not sure of or that you need an understanding of, she has placed it right below the chart, so I don't have to flip around. She has something marked in the charts, and I'm thinking, I wonder what is that? She has it right here. Isn't that nice? Now, like I said, this is one that's more advanced. So this would be more for a seasoned knitter, someone that you know, and or for yourself, if you are ready to tackle, you know, more advanced stitches and patterns. So this was the one, this was the second one I bought and put in my stash and didn't know I had it. What a, this is just a jewel. And I'm so glad I found them. And I want to start with some of these next year. That's why I'm coming on to give you the information now so that you can be ahead. And for those that would like to order these, and like I said, I have not seen these anymore in Joann, but I know they're on Amazon. You can go ahead and have your book and look through them, and then we will make some projects out of them. All right, there's one more, so I'll be right back. All right, last but not least, this is what gave me a clue, or when I saw this book on Amazon, I was buying something else, and you know how they know, they kind of put things, pop-ups, what things they think you might like, or what other people have bought that you might like. So this book popped up. I still didn't look at the name. I just read the title. It says Japanese Stitches Unraveled. And I thought, oh yeah, maybe that goes along with that other Japanese book I have or something. Hitomi Shihida's book, remember last year or so? And then I started reading it. It says to knit top down. Now where have I heard that from? To knit bottom up. Okay, begin to sound familiar. Back and forth and in the round. And as soon as I start putting those words together, I look down and it is a book by Wendy Bernard. So I went ahead and ordered this book. So once it came, then that gave me a clue to look for the books I already had by her that I had forgotten and had not used. All this time I had the answer right up under my nose. Look, I had the key already locked away, and all I had to do was just get it and unlock it. So let me show you this book. Like I say, I don't know. Well, let me. First of all, it's just like the other books that I just shared with you. Just very nice, clean. But I wanted to read something to you in the introduction. She gives some of her personal story when she was like 8 years old, when her grandmother taught her how to knit. And I started reading that, but then I got down to a part that kind of relates to, I feel like, oh, that sounds like me. It says, in my knitting journey, the craving for finding new resources or sources of stitches grew steadily over time. I collected Stitch Dictionary after Stitch Dictionary. Sounds like me and you. And it didn't matter if some of the stitches presented were the same. Like I said, you will find a lot of the stitches, and sometimes I feel like the swatches are the same swatches from book to book. I love browsing through the stitch patterns, looking at the photographs, and studying how the stitches were formed. This went on for a number of years until I came upon a selection of Japanese stitch pattern books while at a large needle art trade show where I was signing books. So she was there signing her own books, but yet she saw something that even interested her from another creator. And it says, when I opened the book, I couldn't believe my eyes. A whole new world of knitting possibilities opened up to me that day. Until that point, I thought I really understood the ins and outs of knitting stitch patterns. However, as I paged through these volumes, I realized that many of the stitches contained in them were entirely different animals. I have never seen stitch patterns like these before. And she just really kind of shares with you the excitement, even at her she's well known. She's an icon. Even stitches can make her excited, even at the stage she's in. So that's why I was so excited to know that I already had her books and didn't even know I had a world of treasure that I just needed to open up. So now I'm just going to kind of run through this one because this one is more for the advanced. You have to really be seasoned. I think this is really, a lot of the stitches. And there are some simple stitches. As in most books, you'll start out with simple, ribs and ridges, stacked boxes, stitches that you are familiar or have seen. I might want to do in a simple form. Here's pretty here. Oh, look at that. Is that a star? Oh, look. 8-pointed star. Okay. 8-pointed star. It's in the flat. That's a 12 row. It says a multiple of 22 stitches plus 5. Oh, it goes, no, not 12. It goes all over here, 35. Oh, that's a lot of rows. Look, that all of a sudden I was thinking of that dishcloth. Okay. I don't know how far that's going to get. But then she also has it in the round. So if you were doing a hat or a cow to match. All right. Another good way to, and I used to do this, is to make front for pillows. The fabric for pillows, and then of course you can buy pillow forms, and you could, maybe you don't have time to do a whole afghan or something, but you can always make a nice square or rectangle, whatever it is that your pillow form, the shape, and practice the stitch, and then turn it into a beautiful pillow for your home or for a gift. So I'm just going to flip through some of this just to see what we have here. Like I said, she starts out very simple, but then you'll notice it soon becomes very more advanced, more intricate, but different stitches. Here's a wrapped waves. Look at that. A lot of the stitches become more intricate and, of course, a lot more rows. This has 32 rows. It says a multiple of 7 plus 3, but she also has it in the round. A multiple of 7. And there's 32 rows here and 32 rows flat. And a nice chart for each one. And any information in the round, I'm way over here, any information in the round that's in the chart that maybe you don't quite understand, she has it right up under the chart. So it's easy to find and to read, just like in the other books. And of course she does have some actual patterns in the book. A lot of nice cables. We're going to start out with some cables the first of the year but I don't put a lot of cables into like garments that I make because, cables just add weight to you. I just can't see myself with all them cables, people. But it's nice to be able to pick and choose. And now that I have this book and the others, I found the treasure. If I need to go bottom up flat, I can do it. Bottom up in the round, I can do it because she's worked it all out. I don't have to sit there and try to figure it, work it, and switch the stitches. Top down flat, top down in the round. Nice charts. Oh, look at this one. Wheat sheaves. Look at that, flat. Nice chart. In the round. With lots of information for knitting it in the round, right up under the chart. I hope there's not a big glare on that. I'll check it. Let me just check if I should hold it down. Yeah, if I hold it down, it's not as bad. Oh, man. This one is called Field of Flowers, but it looks kind of like horseshoe. See? But it's a variation, maybe. Maybe it's just a variation of that stitch, but she calls it Fields of Flowers, and she has it flat and in the round, saving me time. Let's see if there's a top down. Let's see, round. No, she didn't have a top down in that one. These are mainly flat and in the round. Sparkling diamonds. Oh, man. Oh, there's not. Oh, let's see. Oh, there's 12 rows. Nice chart. In the round. Multiple of 8 stitches plus 9. But in the round, you only have to deal with the 8 stitches. You don't have to deal with the plus 9 because you don't need anything to connect you or edges. You're knitting in the round. Oh, isn't that cute? That would be pretty to put in something. Acorns and eyelets. I'm just looking through now. And as you can see, more rows, more work. But for your seasoned knitter or someone that you know that would appreciate this book. Maybe they haven't ordered it. Maybe they didn't see it on Amazon. But that's where I got it. And this is a book that reminded me, not like you have some books just like that. And lo and behold, I had 2. So now I have 3. Mini arches. That's pretty. Oh, that's a mesh stitch. So this must be the mini arches over here. I just want you to see some of the designs just so that you can yes, a lot of these stitches we'll probably never ever do this side of heaven. But there's nothing wrong with looking, and if I had to put my money whether to buy yarn or buy these stitch dictionaries, I love to have these in my library. It just looks so impressive. And like I say, once you come across them again, maybe you out of sight, out of mind, but once you find them again, you go, oh my gosh, I've got a world of treasure here. So, oh, look at that. Hanging berries. Hanging berries. Ooh, that looks very interesting. So, I just want to give a nice book review because I haven't done it lately. Here's a pretty cowl that also acts like a poncho or cape or shoulder warmer wrap. These are one of her patterns. She gives all the information and the measurements, and of course if you like, instead of designing your own, you like to have a pattern, bam, there it is. She has a nice key in the back. That was good. Some abbreviations, a section, and I believe there's more information about the author. And I don't know how old this picture is, but there's a picture of Wendy Bernard, a knitwear designer, author based in Southern California. So, I just wanted to come on and share a book review so that you can get started. If you wanted to put something on your Christmas list, some stitch books, here are some. Like I said, there's so many stitches in here, we won't even have time this side of heaven to even get to any of them. But it's just great to have the knowledge all in one place, so that at least as you're looking and dreaming and hoping and growing and excited, just like I am, just like she was, and probably still is. So thank you to Wendy Bernard for these beautiful books. I hope you put them on your Christmas book list. And yes, we will try to work something out of some of these books, or one or something, as we start the year. As I'm trying to think of projects. Yes, you have to start now thinking of projects for next year, because I'm looking for a calendar. Once I get a calendar, then music starts to fall in place, and my themes and ideas of what I want to knit or crochet. But I hope you have enjoyed this book review. And like I said, here is my Christmas list. I've already got started. by ordering this book and finding out that I had 2 of Wendy Bernard's books already. So I'm already ahead of the game. So, thank you for watching. I will see you shortly with, I don't know, I think I will work on one of the projects, one of the Finish It or Forget It projects. I think the next one is Project B. We've already taken care of Project A. So that will probably be something I'll do right here in November. I try to keep November light because it's just, you know, your time is busy, your life is busy, and so is mine. And, but I thank you for joining me on this book review, and if any of this will give you some excitement, then go for it. And until next time, take care and just enjoy your stitch books. See ya!